Hello, I'm Ken Fobb. This is NewsNet, Baton Rouge. Grab a tea or coffee as I go over with you headlines and news from our local area and region. Teresa Buchanan was a tenured LSU professor who specialized in early childhood development and education, and who was responsible for the training of future elementary school teachers. She was fired by LSU in 2015 because while conducting her classes, she was notoriously known for making profane and controversial comments repeatedly in the presence of her students, such as slang terms used to describe the vagina and for joking that the quality of sex declines the longer a relationship lasts, and for using the F word constantly. Her conduct was apparently so offensive, the LSU Lab School, schools in Zachary, schools in Port Allen, and in Iberville Parish had either prohibited Buchanan from coming onto their campuses, or they actually requested LSU not to allow her to mentor their student teachers or interns due to her conduct and vile speech while lecturing. Now, upon being fired by LSU in 2015, she filed a lawsuit against LSU alleging, among other things, that her free speech rights were violated. But a local federal district court judge from Baton Rouge eventually dismissed Professor Buchanan's lawsuit. The professor then filed an appeal, but recently, according to the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, the former LSU professor was properly fired by LSU in 2015 when she used profanity in her classrooms and discussed her sex life and the sex lives of her students. In its ruling in favor of LSU's decision to fire Buchanan, Fifth Circuit Judge Jocks Weiner Jr. said, quote, "We agree with the district court that Dr. Buchanan's use of profanity and discussion of her sex life and the sex life of her students was not related to the subject matter or the purpose of training pre-K through third grade teachers," close quote. The Fifth Circuit's decision went on to state that LSU did not violate Professor Buchanan's free speech rights by firing her because she was not speaking on a matter of public concern. A Baton Rouge man who is already facing attempted murder charges was arrested on Sunday after police say he crashed the vehicle he was driving into a utility pole. Baton Rouge Police Department officials say Herbert Hernandez Coronado was initially booked at East Baton Rouge Parish Prison because he lost control of his vehicle on South Woodhaven Drive and crashed into a utility pole, but instead of calling the police and reporting the accident, he left the scene and drove to Sharp Lane in Baton Rouge, where police eventually found him sitting in his SUV, which had become disabled. He was suspected of being impaired at the time, so he was offered opportunity to perform several standard field sobriety tests, but performed poorly on them. Therefore, he was eventually placed under arrest on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. And when processed at the booking station, he submitted a breath sample, and it registered a blood alcohol content of 0.257 grams. This amount is actually 3 times above the legal limit, and it indicated that he was driving while having a high risk of alcohol poisoning in his body. On top of that, the arresting officers discovered that Hernandez Coronado was already being sought for by the police for attempted murder as a result of an attack in which he and 2 other people severely beat up a man with a pipe and a hammer at the victim's home. So he was booked into the parish jail on charges of DWI, hit and run, careless operation, driving without a license, and attempted second-degree murder. Now, in brighter news, high school prom season is on the horizon, and one local organization is trying to make sure young ladies have the opportunity to pick out a dress at no cost. LeJean Harris is the founder and director of an organization called the No Glass Slipper Prom Dress Giveaway Project. And this Sunday past, Ms. Harris conducted a dress giveaway. This was the organization's 7th giveaway, and this year, Ms. Harris collected nearly 1,000 gowns with the help of many sponsors and from the community at large. Now, this event has served and helped more than 700 girls since 2013, and it continues to grow. Ms. Harris says, "It's hard work, but it's all worth it." The No Glass Slipper Prom Dress Giveaway was successfully held at the McKinley High Alumni Center. These have been headlines and news from our local area and region, and I'm yours truly, Ken Fobb. I'll see you next time right here on NewsNet, Baton Rouge.